Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Today we start with a little tiny bit of a myth fragment. So, in the forest of the Tilai trees, the sage Patanjali has been wandering and wandering because he wants to find Shiva Nataraj. He wants to see Shiva as the Lord of the dance. And he's been wandering through the forest to try to find him. Eventually, he comes upon a lingam, which is a stone, an upward-facing stone, and he believes that this is Shiva in the stone lingam form. All around the lingam are these beautiful flowers that he's never seen. He's been on the forest floor for years, but he's never seen these flowers. As it turns out, there's been someone else in the forest also paying attention to Shiva Nataraja. And it is this character called Vyagrapada, which means tiger paws, and he lives up in the trees. And he's been bringing down these beautiful flowers and sharing them at the lingam as he waits for Shiva to appear. Well, as Patanjali and Vyagrapada meet each other, they become deep friends. And they begin their devotional practice sitting in front of the lingam. And when they come together and they sit together, they meditate together, that joining is what brings the lingam to life. Shiva emerges from that stone form and becomes once again his form as the cosmic dancer. He dances what is called the Ananda Tandava, the dance of bliss. Now, on the one side, Patanjali sees Shiva's arm wrapping around in this direction. And so Patanjali thinks of yoga as a yoga of turning away, a yoga of renunciation. And on the other side, Vyagrapada sees into the heart. And he sees yoga as an embrace of all of life. And so because of where they are sitting, they have different experiences of the dance. And they see yoga differently, and they go off to form their own yogas. But is their friendship that created the moment for the dance to happen? And that's really what I want to accentuate today as we move into practice. First off, how important it is to have friends on this path of yoga and transformation. You know, we are here practicing together. We are not sharing time, we're not sharing space, and yet we are sharing intentionality. We are sharing this practice together, and so we are here as Kalyana Mitra, spiritual friends, soul friends. So there is that actual friendship in the form of a human person. But today, I'll also encourage you to practice with yourself, being a friend to yourself. To let your asana practice be a time when you befriend yourself. To talk kindly to yourself, to choose language in your mind that is kind and supportive, to embrace your body as a friend, not an enemy, not something you need to discipline or, really have a fight with on the mat. What if you approach this practice as a friend? And then that friendship is what makes life dance. So may we enter into the dance of life together in this time and space, whenever and wherever each of us are. And may we enter into this time and this dance with our own bodies, minds, and hearts as a friend, as a deep friend. Join your palms, bring them in front of your heart, and close your eyes, turn inwards. Take a moment to refresh your breath. And with your next in-breath, welcome yourself into your practice, the way you would welcome a friend into your home. Welcome whatever sounds may be with you, whatever other beings may be with you. Can we befriend all of life through practice? That is the tantric path. And now take a moment, connect with your intention, why you decided to show up for practice today. And together, let's chant one Om. Inhale. Softly bow your head to your heart. Release your hands to your thighs. Lift your head back up and open your eyes. We'll start on hands and knees for this practice. Please come to hands and knees. Place your hands under your shoulders, your knees under your hips, and curl your toes under. We're starting moving into your spine. So very slowed down, cat and cow. Lift your chin. Keep your arms strong. Take your skull back in space, creating some curve in your neck. Then, without doing a huge heart melt, just move your upper back in. Move down towards the space of your shoulder blades. Move that area in. And the sides of your rib cage in, actually. Your low back in, and send your sitting bones up to the ceiling. So you've got a really deep curl, as if you were taking the back of your head back towards your tailbone, and tailbone towards the back of your head. Now keep your spine just like this. Begin to reverse from your tailbone. Draw your tailbone down. Take the top of your pelvis back. Keep the rest of the curve. Slowly move your low back up towards the ceiling, towards cat tilt. Take your middle back up towards the ceiling. Head stays up. Take your upper back up towards the ceiling, and then very last, round all the way in with your head. And now it's head and tail trying to come towards each other, befriend each other in the front of the body. So move with that articulation, but you can begin to move faster. Inhale, get long through your spine and lengthen up into cow tilt. And exhale, scoop through your tail, around through your spine, dive into cat tilt. Begin to befriend your breath. Full inhale to lift you. Full exhale to empty. And whenever possible in your yoga practice, continue with your cat and cow. Whenever possible, breathe in and out through your nose. If you find that your body wants to do a little something different, that's fine. Let your body move. Befriending your breath, befriending your body at this beginning point in your practice. After your next exhale, come back into the middle, back into your neutral spine, and go again into that articulated cow. But first step your knees back a couple of inches, and you could take your feet out as wide as your mat if you'd like, or keep them closer together. We'll be moving to down dog in just a moment. So inhale the sides of your body long, then again, lift your head. Take your throat back. Move your upper back in. Move your middle back in. Move your lower back in, meaning down towards the floor, and send your sitting bones up. So the top of your pelvis tilts forward over your thighs. You've got this big kind of, I call it curly cat. It's like you're curling into cat. Engage your back muscles and pull your shoulder blades down towards your hips as your hips go up towards the ceiling, and then lifting up in your low belly. Lift your knees, lift your hips, push yourself to down dog, and let your head be the very last part that unfolds out into Adho Mukha Svanasana. You might keep your knees bent if your legs are feeling fatigued or tight this morning or this day. It's morning while I'm filming, but who knows, time and space are different for you. Isn't that fun that we can meet across time and space? Breathe. Enjoy your breath. Befriend your breath with an inner friendliness, a smile of welcome. Push down and forward through your arms as you take your thigh bones back, and reach down through your feet into the floor.
Then bend your knees and walk your hands back to your legs. Bow forward in standing forward bend at the back of your mat. You could step your feet closer together now if you'd like, or again, keep them further apart. Either way is fine. Inhale and stretch your heart halfway forward. Exhale and fold over your strong legs. Take your hands to your hips. Take your elbows and your shoulders up to the ceiling. Lift your heart. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. Release your arms by your sides. With your inhale, lift both arms up alongside your ears. I'm going to turn and face you, but you could stay where you are. Take your right hand to your left wrist, give a lift up, and send your hip to the left as you arc your torso to the right. Now bring your weight back into your heels and embrace your leg muscles around your bones like you're giving a friend a hug. Draw your navel up. Bring your right shoulder blade around to be in a line with your left one. Inhale up and switch sides. Take hold of your right wrist, give a lift up, and then arc your torso to the right. Exhale as you do. Send your hips to the right. Sorry, your torso is arcing to the left. Draw your navel in and up and bring weight into your heels and wrap your left shoulder blade in line with your right one. Inhale, lift back up, and as you exhale, fold forward, standing forward bend. Inhale your heart forward, and exhaling, walk yourself out to downward facing dog. Take your time, let your weight shift between your hands, and eventually land out in Adho Mukha Svanasana. In downward facing dog, step your feet and legs together. Inhale, sweep your right leg high into the air. Exhale, step it forward into a lunge. Bring your left knee down and squeeze your leg muscles onto your bones to hold your legs very steady and stable. So again, that's that befriending kind of hug. It doesn't need to be so tight that you wouldn't be able to breathe. It's just enough. You could keep your left hand under your shoulder or take it a little to the left. Bring your right hand onto your right thigh. Draw your navel back, twist to the right. Psoas lunge, I call this. Pushing your left knee down, pull the top of your left thigh back. Then scoop your tail under and maybe lunge a little further into this if that's available to you on this day. Just see where you are. You could stay exactly like this or take your top hand to the sky. I actually really like my hand on my thigh for the first one because it gives a little more rotation. So it's okay to be kind to yourself, to do the things that you like and that actually help you the way that you would be helping out a friend, befriending yourself. Good. Exhale, unwind. Take your hands down and walk your right foot 1 foot width to the right. With both hands on the inside now, we pulse. So slowly pull back and stretch forward. Pull back, you can pull your toes off the mat and stretch forward. Now I'm not insisting that my front leg go totally straight. I'm just inviting the leg to get used to this idea and moving the fascia, moving the nerve around. Now when you come forward, walk your right foot back to the center. Take your right hand on the outside and this time shift back to runner lunge. Of course, you could grab your blocks if that would be a good idea for your body, to befriend your hamstring. We have barely done any forward folds yet, so it's totally fine. Push your right heel down and energetically pull it up towards your right hip. Lift your right kneecap towards your right hip, so all sides of your right leg tone. Now, like we did a moment ago, tip your pelvis forward towards your right leg if that's available, and either stay there or bow out over your right leg a little bit further. From the depth of your pelvis, push down into your legs and extend out through your right heel, even as it keeps trying to pull back. So you're doing a little bit of both. Lengthen through your spine, soften between your shoulder blades. And then inhale, lift your heart, look up. Bend your front knee back to a lunge and step back again into downward facing dog. Switching sides, step your feet and legs together and inhale your left leg into the air. Exhale, step it forward into lunge. Lower your right knee down onto the mat and inhale to expand. Exhale, soften any overdoing. Charge up your legs though. Hug onto that inner softness. This beautiful embrace. Your right hand could stay closer, take it a little off to the right. Take your left hand on your left thigh. Pull your navel back and twist to the left this time. To get a little more deeply into your psoas, pull your right knee forward, take the top of your right thigh back, and then scoop your tail under. Lunge a little deeper into the pose, possibly. Again, the option is to take your arm up. But if that's not working for you, or you get a little more from having your hand down like I do, it's totally fine to keep your arm down. Take your shoulders back and lengthen out through your neck. Exhaling, release this down. Take your left hand on the inside of your left foot and walk your left foot 1 foot width over to the left. Now pulse. Pull back, push forward. There's no exact place where you're meant to be with this. Just sort of feel out where your body is, how things are going in this practice, and go with it. Next time you come up into your lunge, walk your left foot back to the center, and then straighten your left leg. When your left leg comes straight, aim for your right thigh to be pretty much perpendicular, straight up and down from the floor. Now push your left heel down as if you were wiping it on a welcome mat. Pull it back towards your left sitting bone. Lift up your left kneecap so your entire left leg is firmed, and that helps hold the muscles steady as they stretch, which makes them feel a little safer. It helps override the kind of instinctive resistance to the stretch. Takes a moment though. Tip the top of your pelvis forward towards your thigh and either stay more upright or bow down towards your leg. Squeeze your leg muscles around your bones and push down into both of your legs as you lengthen through your spine. So when you bow, there'll be a tendency to curl up. See if you can keep some length, and that will help us to open up our hamstrings today. You and me. Inhale, lengthen. Bend your front knee, step to lunge. Lift back into downward facing dog. Step your feet to inner hip distance in this downward facing dog, and looking forward, inhale, shift out into plank. Exhale in plank. Inhale, lift the sides of your waistlines. Exhale, lower to your belly. You could always put your knees down. Reach back behind you and interlace your fingers. Curl your toes, uncurl your toes, placing them on the floor. Make your legs firm, scoop your tail back, lift up your belly, and then inhaling as you squeeze your shoulder blades on the back of your heart, lift up into Shalabhasana. Now take your throat back like we did a moment ago in the curly cat. Throat back, palate back. Bring your shoulder blades together on your back body and down. So they're this strong, stable support for the opening of your front chest and your heart. Remember, you're opening your heart not only to the world, but to yourself. Exhale and lower. Bring your hands under your shoulders and look around for your block. I'm gonna have to move pretty far to grab mine. Maybe you do too, but grab one of your blocks. And here we go. Bend your right knee. And this is kind of funky, but I'm pretty sure you can get it. You take your block right up under your sitting bone, bend your right knee, and catch your heel onto the block so that you're holding the block with your leg.
Good. Now for your upper body, you could either be on forearms like I am. It's going to be easier for you to hear me if I stay here. Or put your head on your hands like this. Okay. Here we go. So now squeeze the block. Dial up the squeeze of your heel into the block. You might drop the block a couple times as you get started. It's fine. Just put it back. And if the block becomes too much, just let it go. But squeeze your heel into the block, and you'll notice that turns on the back of your leg. That's your hamstring muscle turning on. And now we'll turn it on even more. Lift the block up. Keep squeezing, lift up. If you start to feel like you're gonna have a cramp, just dial back the intensity or stop altogether. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. All right, now lower your leg, take the block away, and immediately reach back with your right hand to grab your right foot. Draw your right foot in towards your right buttocks, coming into Ardha Bakasana, half frog. What we did just there was turn on your hamstring muscle to help lengthen your quadricep muscle on the front of your thigh. So we're using that synergistic relationship, co-contraction that those two muscles do, their friendship, we could say, to help get you a little bit more open on the front of your leg. Exhale and release your right side. Grab your block, take it to your left. So take your block just a little bit below your sitting bone, onto your left hamstring, then bend your left knee, catch the block. So I like, using my ankle as the place to catch the block. I feel like I've got good proportions for this. Every body's going to be a little different, so it may or may not be quite as simple as for me, as it is for you, as it is for me, but that's all right. Do what you can. All right, so the first step is to squeeze the block with your foot. Use that squeezing action to turn on your hamstring, your left hamstring. There's long muscles on the back of your left leg. All right, keep squeezing and then lift up your left knee to any amount. That turns on your buttocks muscles as well, your glutes. You may not get a big lift, that's fine. Then slowly lower your leg, push your right forearm down, reach around, move your block, and take your left hand to your left foot, and in you go into Ardha Bakasana on the second side. From your left hip, reach back into your left knee, and you can even still squeeze your heel towards your buns, as if you had a tiny block there that you were squeezing into. And again, the friendship between your quadriceps and your hamstrings is what makes this kind of really turn on and help create more opening. Exhale, release. Curl your toes under and press yourself up and back into downward facing dog. Notice the effect in your legs. For me, it's quite dramatically different. And it's like, oh, maybe that didn't feel amazing when I first got started, but I'm so glad I'm taking this time to be friends with my body and create a little more space, a little more aliveness, a little more connection. Bend your knees, walk your hands back towards your feet again at the back of the mat. Inhale your heart halfway forward. Exhale and fold. Take your hands to your hips, your elbows and your shoulders up, and inhale, stretch your heart forward, rise up to standing. Exhale, release your arms by your sides. So here we go again, same thing. Inhale, both arms up. This time, interlace your fingers and send your pointer fingers to the ceiling. Send your hips left, arc your torso to the right. Bring your weight back into your heels and send powerfully some energy down into your legs. Then lift up your low belly, and as you squeeze the right side, lengthen on your left side. Even bring your right shoulder around and lift up through your chin. Inhale up. Exhale, move to the second side, arc your torso over. Send your hips to the right as your torso moves left. Bring weight down into your heels and lift up your low belly, lift up your ribs and squeeze on the left side to create this opening on the right.
Inhale up, release your arms down, and exhale, fold to Uttanasana again. Inhale, reach your heart halfway forward. Exhale, walk yourself back out, Adho Mukha Svanasana. One tiny step, like you have tiger paws for hands. Walk yourself out, one hand at a time. Take your time, Adho Mukha Svanasana. And then hover your armpits, melt your heart back towards your thighs. Step your feet and your legs together and inhale, take your right leg high into the air in three-leg dog. Level your pelvis as best you can. Rise up on tiptoe, exhale, step forward into a lunge. Once again, bring your back knee down and squeeze your leg muscles onto your bones. When you squeeze in that way, that embrace helps you to hold steady no matter what else comes. Take your right hand on your right thigh, draw your navel back and twist. So this is where we started in the last part of the series. You can stay exactly like this, or again, take the variation with your arm. Or, as if you had the block between your heel and your buns, lift your foot and squeeze your heel towards your buns on this side. You could stay like that, or now reach back with your right hand to grab the pinky toe side of your left foot. Notice what my shoulder's doing. You might have to wrap around to get your foot, but once you get your foot, lengthen through the sides of your body and take the head of your arm bone back. That's it. Just like you did with the block. Use your arm to squeeze your heel towards your buns. Push your heel back into your hands this time. You could twist. Take any variation on this that works for your body in this moment. You might stay right here. You might put your left forearm on a block or even left forearm on the floor. You twist and open. Take one more breath, push back through your left leg. And exhale, release this. Walk your hands on either side of your front foot, release your left toes down to the floor, and then lift up your left thigh. Now pulse. Slowly stretch your front leg towards straight. And exhale, bend your front knee. Inhale here. Exhale, straighten your right leg. Inhale, lunge forward. Exhale, pull back. One more full round. Inhale, lunge forward. Exhale, pull back. Now lunge forward, inhale. Step your back foot in a few inches. Turn your back toes out and line up your heels. Straighten your front leg and notice, bring your hips, your right hip back, your left hip forward and out to the left so that you could level off your pelvis as best you can. It's not tipping to the right. This is the tendency. Okay, so making friends with hamstrings as best you can. There's a sense of welcome in a friendship, right? Even if there's something that is difficult, still want to welcome it. Just lift up through your leg muscles with that hugging action and bring your left hip a little more forward, your right hip a little bit back. Stay exactly like that with an extended spine, or as you're ready, bow over your legs. And be with your breath again, wherever you are. So your breath is such a great friend for helping to clear away toxins in your body, but also clear away mind stuff, material of the mind that's just not very helpful. So a lot of times, even if the pose is difficult, we make it harder on ourselves by having a mind that's really irritated about it. So you can let that go and just be in the challenge of the pose if that's what's happening for you. Inhale, lift your heart, bend your front knee, step back into a lunge, and then step back to down dog. Step your feet and your legs together. Inhale your left leg high into three-leg dog. Exhale, step forward into a lunge. Inhale there, and then exhaling, lower your back knee, squeeze your leg muscles, welcome yourself. Take your left hand on your left thigh, draw your navel back and twist. So we always draw the navel back to engage your core, to really twist from the core, not from your head or shoulders. Stay right there, or squeeze your right heel towards your right glutes. So first is turning on the leg muscle, then continue your twist, look back and reach back with your left hand to take the pinky toe side of your right foot. Then you just listen, right? Be friends with your body, see what it's up for. Maybe just holding your foot is enough. Or you could squeeze in. Notice I just take my buns back a little to help the squeeze in, then lift up in your low belly if you've done that. You could stay there or bring your forearm onto the block or onto the floor, but wherever you are, keep moving your left shoulder, that's the top one, back. And opening your heart, even curl your skull back. Like you're listening to the story a friend is telling. Not too caught up in your own stuff. In this case, the story might be from the friendly story of your body. Exhale and release. Place your hands down. Step to a lunge. Left leg forward lunge. And exhale to straighten your front leg. Inhale, lunge forward and look forward. Exhale, draw back. Inhale, lunge forward, look forward. Exhale, come back. One more time. Inhale, lunge forward, look forward. This time, step your back foot in, turn your toes out slightly. Your feet land about 3 to 3.5 feet apart with your heels lined up. If you can't quite get your hips to line up very well when your heels are in line, just step your right foot more to the right, and that'll help you line up your hips. But classically, it's heel to heel. Take your left outer hip crease back and your right hip to the right and forward. With both legs straight, squeeze your muscles onto your bones to hug your bones steady and hug the midline. Take your inner thighs back and wide. Draw your tail in, your low belly up, and fold. You could do this variation with your hands on your blocks, of course, or hands on the wall even, if this is a little difficult today. Or hands on the floor. You could even take your hands back behind you and interlace your fingers. Be in reverse namaste, in a reverse prayer position. So lots of options. Choose the one that's friendly towards yourself as you continue to breathe. Part of, I think, what we all experience, many folks experience in the world, is a sense of not belonging or lack of connection, lack of friendships in this kind of wild time that we live in when we're so seemingly connected. And so just starting by connecting and befriending your actual self is a way into a deeper feeling of connection in the world. Inhale, lift your heart, bend your front knee to a lunge, step back to downward facing dog. And that's because we feel more connected to the deeper self. And step your feet to about hip width apart and inhale forward into plank. Exhale down to your belly. And again, reach your hands back, interlace your fingers behind, flip your toes back. Change the cross of your fingers. So put the weird one on top. And pressing your toes down, firm your legs. Draw your tail back, move up through your ribs, lift your heart, lift your shoulders, squeezing your shoulder blades together, pull them down towards your hips to give you a little more lift up in the front chest. And take your skull back. So much of what we're longing for when we do long for connection is, yes, human connection, but it's also the more than human, the deeper than human, that soul connection. Connection with the Shakti, the life force, with the Shiva that's trapped in the rock. Exhale, lower. So we can allow the practice to remind us that we're always connected. You can take your block again. We're going to try it again. Here we go. To the top of your right thigh.
And bend your right knee. Again, squeeze into your block. We're going to turn on the friends, hamstrings and quads. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. You might dial it up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep the squeeze. Lift your right knee for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Put your right knee down. Bring your left forearm to the top of your mat and reach back with your right hand. Stretch your quad. Draw your foot towards your heel. That is not true. Draw your foot towards your buns. So I'm keeping all my little mistakes in for you today because we're being friends. And friends don't have to be perfect. I'm just kind of letting these weird mouth things that my mouth wants to stay in the video for you. Reach back through your knee. Just to say, you don't need to be perfect to be here, to be doing your practice, right? Exhale and release, switch sides. That's part of the beauty of friendship. Take your block to your left thigh and squeeze. The beauty of friendship is we're really in that deeply friendly spot. Squeeze in for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower and reach back. When you're truly befriending someone or yourself, there's not an insistence on everything has to be my way, everything has to be perfect, everything has to look like this or be exactly right. Right? The true friendliness extends to our humanity as well. Ooh. Reach back through your left knee. And exhale, release your left leg. Come down onto your belly. Now you have the choice. You could go into Shalabhasana again. Hands clasped, reach back, Shalabhasana. Or bend both knees. Take your hands to your ankles or the tops of your feet and come to Dhanurasana, bow pose. If you are holding your ankles, that's what I'm demonstrating. Spread out your toes. And squeeze your heels towards your buns like you did with the block, as if you had the block. Then scoop your tail back, lift your shoulders away from the floor, take your throat back, and then lift your knees up like you had the blocks that you were lifting up. That's the idea. Then you can push your feet back. Draw your take your skull back. Everything's moving back as you could feel. But what is moving forward? Your heart. Your heart moves forward, moving out into the world with kind of a beacon of friendliness towards yourself, towards others. Exhale, lower towards connection. Place your hands under your shoulders, press yourself back again, downward facing dog. Big breath in. Big breath out. Really push your thigh bones back to counteract the work of the back bend just there. And then bend your knees all the way down to the mat and look around for your 2 blocks. You just want to have them close by for this next part of the series, and we'll go back to downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, walk your hands back to your feet. Bring your heels down, forward fold. You may find that your forward fold's a little bit easier than when you started. Inhale your heart halfway forward. Exhale, fold over. Take your hands to your hips, your elbows and your shoulders up. And stretch your heart forward, rise up to standing. Exhale, release. Once more with some variation on that. Inhale, take your arms up, interlace your fingers, send your pointer finger up. Draw your tail down and your navel up and send your hips left as you arc your torso right. This is opening up the space in your side body. Hopefully you could feel that. And we need that space if we're going to be in some back bending. So it's kind of a sneaky way to get more room for back bending. Inhale up. Exhale. Other side. Draw your weight back into your heels and lift up your low belly, lift your chin. That's it.
Good. Inhale up, exhale, fold, walk out again. Inhale, heart forward, exhale, walk out, downward facing dog. Again, like your hands are tiger paws. Big breath in and out. Now we have this kind of funky play with the block. Take your legs together and inhale your right leg into the air. Exhale, step into a lunge and lower your left knee for a moment. Grab your two blocks. You take your blocks and make like an upside down T. So you've got the one block is low, the other one's high. Bring your blocks on the left side of your mat near your left leg. Then place your hands down and lift up your left thigh. Slide your blocks back so that the base of your left thigh, just above your left knee, lands on the corner of this block. And then lean forward so that your thigh lands fully on that block. Now you can adjust exactly where it is, and of course the blocks are not made for your specific body, so sometimes the proportions are not exactly right. Do the best you can. Then notice I'm adjusting my right foot so that I can bring my right shin perpendicular to the floor. So if my foot's a little forward, just bring it back. Okay, this could be enough. Squeeze your left thigh so that you're not completely collapsed down into the block, but it's helping to support you at the same time. And then thighs back, draw your tail in, lift up in your low belly, push down into your right leg with your right hand, and then your left hand. So you're in the rather deep lunge and you have the support of the blocks there to hold you. Now don't completely collapse into the block, it's a little too hard on your thigh, so keep your thighs strong. But now, as much as is possible, scoop your tail, take the top of your pelvis back and lean back a bit. It's going to start to stretch the front of your back thigh up into your psoas here. You could stay there or take your arms up into this psoas lunge variation. So you could play how deep you settle in, how much you scoop your tail, how much you lift up and out. Sometimes I put my right hand here and give a little side body arc to really get into the psoas. Draw your ribs back and that'll help too. Oh, good. Exhale, lean forward. This is a funny transition. You can slide it's not funny if you do it this way. Slide your blocks out of the way. Shift your weight onto your right leg and come right up into standing split. So you've done all that hamstring opening, all that quad opening, and now use the strength of your left hamstring to push it towards the ceiling. Notice your leg's going to turn out. That's fine. You're just not trying to turn it out. It's not half moon. Bow in, maybe one hand or both to your ankle. Then inhale, heart forward. Bend your right leg, step your left leg back, lunge, downward facing dog. Switch sides, step your feet and legs together. Inhale your left leg high. Wow, that's got a lot of freedom after that psoas lunge. Exhale forward into lunge. And you can bring your back knee down, look around, get your blocks. Bring them around to the right side. There's not a glamorous way to do that. You just do it. Lift up your right thigh. Place the block just above your right kneecap. So right kneecap, and then the block is above. And then you can adjust a little bit based on, how the block feels. Like you don't need to suffer through this. Be kind, be a friend to your body. Then pay attention to your left leg. Do your best to get your left leg straight up and down so it's not, pulled forward or back. Squeeze your leg muscles onto your bones, both legs. Lift up in your low belly for more core support. And then left hand on your left thigh, maybe that's it. Or right hand on your right thigh. And you might stay bowed over like this. Or take the top of your pelvis back, scoop your tail in, lift up. It might be dramatically different between the two sides as well. You'll just have to see how that is. Again, to some degree, you do allow yourself to sink in, but to some degree,
Keep moving back. Stay there or take your arms up. You're always in charge of how much intensity you add into the practice. This could be pretty intense for folks, so just be with yourself as a friend. Take your front ribs back. And I'm playing with that arc to the side. That feels really good and like it gets into this midsection for me. If it doesn't work for you, don't worry about it. You do you. Exhale, release back down. Slide your blocks out of the way so you're not going to kick them. And then shift your weight forward. Standing split on the left side, left leg, bow over. Use the power pushing down into your left leg to keep it straight and strong, and use the strength of your right hamstrings and glutes to lift your right leg up. Bow in, stay there, or take one or both hands to your left ankle. Breathe. Good. Release your fingertips, stretch your heart forward, bend your left knee, step your right leg to the back of your mat, and step all the way back, downward facing dog. Ooh, big breath in and out. Exhale forward, and then lower your knees, come down into child's pose. Go back to befriending your breath. And if there are unfriendly thoughts that are crowding your mind, see if with your exhale you could release them. Again, it's tricky because you don't want to, be in an argument with those thoughts. That would be not friendly. That would be unfriendliness. So there is still a space for those thoughts. There is still welcome, but there's not believing. And if you can welcome and then soften, they will let go, they will leave, because they're not true. Only truth will remain with you over time, because the truth endures. All right, slowly walk your hands back towards your legs, come up into a sitting position that makes sense for you, and then take your 2 blocks to the top of your mat. So we really worked into your legs, started opening up the lower body. Now we're going to get into the upper body to prepare for being the dancer. Bring your elbows onto the block, and they're not way up forward. They're just a couple of inches from the back edge of the block. Make sure your blocks are about shoulder width. Now join your palms. Do your best to keep your fingertips pointing to the ceiling. Inhale and lengthen through the sides of your waistlines. Keep the lengthening, keep the lift even. Melt your heart now. So squeeze your shoulder blades towards each other on your back. Then pull your hips back to move yourself deeper. So that tilts your upper arms more parallel to the floor. The more you pull your hips back, more your upper arms become parallel to the floor. And that's what we're looking for. Hollow your armpits. Melt your upper back. Notice that my head is not sagged down. Reach through the top of your head to the space between your elbows. And again, the aim is to keep your fingertips pointing to the ceiling in this kind of prayer position, if your shoulders and upper arms will allow. Look up towards your blocks, shift your weight forward, and come on back up. Excellent. Now you'll move to a wall. You can move the short edge of your mat up against a wall. And we're going to see how this is going to work for me. As you're preparing to come to the wall, as you're getting to the wall, get your blanket, bring it close by, get your block close by, and bring a strap, both blocks, and bring a strap over to the wall as well. We're going to stay here for quite a bit of the rest of the practice. Okay, you've got your props, you've got yourself, you've got your mat at the wall. The first thing is to come to shower pose. So you stand on your mat and take your hands up the wall. Now, as you can see, I'm bumping into my window, so I'm just stepping over to the side, but you could stay on your mat to do that. Take your hands up the wall and spread your fingers as if you were doing downward facing dog. And that's really what this is. It's pretty much down dog with the wall. Take your hands on the wall. Press your index finger knuckle into the wall. Inhale and lift up through the sides of your rib cage, sides of your body. And then as you exhale, pull into your hands, melt your heart towards the wall. Cool. So it could be quite, mild. I'm not doing very much here. You keep your thighs right over your ankles. So this is a pretty mild version. Another version, you could walk your hands further up the wall and bring your chest more towards the wall. I realize that's probably difficult for you to see, but moving, pretend the wall is there, moving my chest more towards the wall. Main aim is that your armpits are back, and the more your chest goes towards the wall, the more you're in a bit of a back bend, as you could see in my back, and then lift your chin up. If we were doing that on the floor, it'd be really nice heart opener, knees, chest, chin variation. All right, walk your hands back down and come down towards the floor, grab a block. Now, with your block, take it between your hands in a prayer position. But instead of having your palm flat on the block, bring it so that the ridge of your fingers right here is what's on the block. So both ridge of both fingers. There we go. Now hug your elbows in. You can lift your block up. Take a big breath in and plug in your shoulders, and then tip the block up towards the sky and take it back behind you. Now, if you have hair in the way, you might have to move it like I do. Aim, as you can see, my elbows are pretty much in the very similar position that they were in a moment ago when my elbows were on the block. Now my elbows are in that same similar position. And the block, you're aiming to get to the base of your neck. Yeah, and draw your front ribs down, stretch up through your elbows, and then bring the block forward again. So that's what your arms are doing. You can stick with just doing that if you'd like. Or we'll do this at the wall. Now I have a whole other video where we really go through this, and there's several classes with dolphin, with the block. So in the library, go check those out if this feels a little confusing. I'm not going to break it down too much today. But take your block like so, bring your elbows to the wall. To the floor just at the wall. And then sneak your head under the block, tuck your chin under, and take the block to the wall. You may or may not touch the wall just yet. Keep your head off the floor. Curling your toes under now, lift your hips up, and do your best to walk as much of your back onto the block as you can. Now this is a lot of stretch for your upper arms, for your triceps. That's fine. Hopefully your hamstrings, though, feel pretty ready for this. If your legs are feeling tighter, you could step your feet out wider, and that's going to give you a little more room here. As you can hear, my voice is fine. I can talk all day and just hang out here as long as needed. And this is creating a lot of heart opening as you are hanging out here. Then slowly walk your feet back, bend your knees, lower down, bring your head out from under, and release. Excellent. You have the option now. You could do regular dolphin pose, which is your forearms on the floor, lift your knees up. You could do this block motion, staying vertical, staying upright, and just do this block motion a couple of times. That's really good work for you. You could go back to your dolphin with your block on the wall, which is what we just did, or practice a forearm stand with the wall or without the wall. I'll do the forearm stand so that you know what I'm talking about. But you're choosing one of those things to do. Let's do it together. Again, if you need instruction on forearm stand, maybe today's not the day to do it,
But go back and use one of the videos to do forearm stand with instruction. I'm trying not to kick my mirror too hard this time. All right, if you're doing a forearm stand, you could bring your block up close to the wall, bring your hands down, and hug into the block. Inhale, make the sides of your body long, and exhale, melt into your heart. Then lift your knees up. This is a good place to stay as well if you're just working on building strength for forearm stand. If you're going further, step one foot in, lift the other leg, and up you go. Swing up, forearm stand, Pincha Mayurasana. And you can just play with it in the way that feels good to you. But think about that tailbone scoop, lift of your low belly that we had before. I'm being super mindful because I'm kicking to a mirror, which I don't want to break. You know, being friends with my house as best I can. And also trying to talk while being upside down. That's an interesting situation to be in. When you're ready, one leg comes down and then the other. Of course, you can stay as long as you'd like to stay in that. And if the video goes on without you, no problem. Just rewind when you're done. All right, my friends, come on down or do the video for longer. Rewind if you need to. And bring your mat back, short edge of the mat, still at the wall. But this time you might want to fold your mat a bit. I have to fold mine anyway, but fold your mat so you have a little more padding, or bring a blanket under your knee. And then have two blocks. Take one block on either side of your mat. Here we go. Let's get those quads one more time. Turn away from the wall and bring your heels towards the wall. Step your right foot forward. That's not true. Take your right foot back. So turn away from the wall, heels to the wall. And now take your left knee and place it at the corner, the edge, where the wall and the floor meet. If that is too intense, you can always take your knee further from the wall. Step your right foot forward into a lunge. Watch out for your blocks. And then you might stay here. You might take your hands on blocks as I'm demonstrating. Or, as is possible, slowly come upright. Take your thighs back, your tail in, walk yourself back, and come up more and more upright. I think it's fine to have your hands on your front thigh. Just as nice you can see your front thigh. Notice if your knee is falling in, it tends to do that. Take it out wide. And yes, there's a lot going on in this front quad. That is by design. It's not unusual. So breathe with it. Again, you can squeeze your heel towards your butt. It seems counterintuitive, but that will help your quad get open even more. Tail down, low belly up. And then see about taking the sides of your rib cage back a little. They may even reach the wall. If you reach the wall, you could take both arms up. But whatever your experience, greet it with the kindness of a friend. You know, this is a very challenging position for most folks, and it'll change day to day given what you did yesterday or what you've done earlier in this day. It's fine. Take your hands onto the blocks now. And we have a variation on this. Stretch your right leg forward. Lift up your toes as we did earlier. Whew. So it's runner lunge with a quad stretch. You could stay exactly like this, or to any amount, slide your right foot forward. I'm gonna run out of floor, so I'm just gonna see how this goes for me. Shoof. Just slide out. And as you slide out, notice that this left side of the pelvis comes forward as well. It may be that you have enough range. You could bring your blocks a little lower. Keep being a friend to yourself. If you need to come out, come on out.
But as you go down, lift up through your ribs, lift up through your heart, take your shoulders back. That's it. Good. Push down into your hands. Pull your right foot back. And this is the way I like to come down from this. I take both hands to the left, put my right knee down, sweep my left leg down. Then back to table. Let's do the other side. Take your right knee to the edge where the wall and the floor meet. Right foot straight up the wall, and it's just to the outside of your right hip. There are different ways to do it, but outside of the right hip is a great place to be. Step your left foot forward into lunge. You might just stay there. That might be plenty. Hands on the blocks, a great place to work. To any amount, take the tops of your thigh bones back. Scoop your tailbone towards the floor and lift up in your low belly. That's going to align this thigh and create even more opening in the left side. You can stay there or take your hands up to your right thigh and lift up. The two sides of your body might be dramatically different from each other. It's totally fine. You know, again, kindness of a friend, of a good friend, right? You don't want to be a frenemy to yourself. Take the sides of your waistline back and up, back and up. You can even use your hands. That's really helpful. Arms could be up or arms could stay down. So you have these like range of choices. Choose in a friendly way. All right, lean forward. Take your hands onto your blocks. Here we go. Take your left leg straight. Straighten it out. Peel your left toes towards the ceiling and squeeze around your left leg fully as you've been doing through the whole practice. And then slide out. You might move very little. You might move quite a bit. Go with care for yourself. When you reach your edge, the end of your slide, scoop your tail down and lift up through your chest. So this is not a fold forward situation. This is actually a fold backward situation. Aiming towards the real curly back bend. Good. Stick with yourself, whatever that may mean right now. I'm with you too. Squeeze your legs, push into your hands. Slide your left leg back. Bend it. Take your hands on the inside and take your right knee down from the wall. It may feel good to just do a little downward facing dog right there. To straighten both legs. And my goodness, it's so much more grounded. Bend both knees back down to the floor. And there we go. So we have one camel pose to prepare us for our peak pose, Dhanurasana, the dancing Shiva. You can grab your block. Actually, let's just do it this way. Get your two blocks. I'm going to turn so you can see me. You don't have to turn. You could stay right there at the wall if you'd like. We are going to use the wall for our dancing Shiva. Place your blocks by your ankles. You don't have to use them, but you can. And take your hands to your hips. Same thing we've been doing. Squeeze your legs. Take your inner thighs back and your tailbone in to lift up. Then as you lift up through your heart, curl your shoulder blades into the back of your heart. Curl, 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 and reach back for one block and then the other. Take your throat back, your palate back. Squeeze your shoulder blades towards each other on the back of your heart and then down towards your hips to create that dynamic lift of heart. Ustrasana. It may be that you could go deeper. We're pretty warm. Maybe ready to go deeper with your arms. It's fine. Take your hands to your hips. Push down into your pelvis. Inhale. Come on back up. Here we go. We've made it this far. Now it's time to dance. Hopefully all of this has felt like a little dance of what is available, what is not, what can I do, what can I back away from. Grab your strap. Strap's a great prop for working on the full dancer pose. So full dancer pose, you're standing on one leg. The other leg is back behind you. Both arms go up, and eventually you hold your foot with both arms back there. It really favors folks who have long limbs. So if you have long limbs and a short torso, you are in luck in this kind of pose. So I'm pretty good shape with some of these poses, but they're still challenging. If you're long torsoed, short limbed, a little more difficult, just because of the way that the shape of the pose is. So, you can be friendly to yourself about that and know that not every single pose was built for every single body to feel just amazing in. There are going to be differences. It's totally like normal. So the first thing I've done is made a pretty good sized loop out of my strap. And that loop is to catch my foot and use my arms to hold my foot, to hold the strap, to hold my foot. I'm going to use this little sliver of wall as my wall so that you can see what I'm doing without just having to look from behind completely. So here we go. Mat is up against the wall. You're going to take your strap and loop your foot into it. Then it's the backpack move. So it's like you're putting on a backpack. You just reach your arm up and over. Now I'm not actually putting my strap on my shoulder, but it's as if I was going to. Then notice you could do that and bend your elbow up to the ceiling. See how my elbow's pointing up to the ceiling and then my leg is back behind me? This is the pose. So you could easily do the pose just like that and be like, happy, totally done, you did it. Or if all is going well, notice I have my other hand on the wall. You're going to do the same work that you did with the blocks. Squeeze your heel towards your butt, lift your knee. Allowing your pelvis to tip forward, and then swing your arm up towards the ceiling. So there's the pose. You could stay exactly like that, or add your second arm, and there's the dancer pose. Exhaling, come down. So I don't know if you did that with me, but that's the demonstration. If you did it with me, great. You can do it again, or let's all do it together. You can just wait. So let's do it together. You can do the right side first. Stand on your left leg. Take your right foot into the strap. It's on the top of my foot and around the bottom. And then it's the backpack move, like you're putting on a backpack. Swing your arm up. There we go. Now, do your best to turn both hips towards the wall. Squeezing your legs firmly. Kick your right leg back and let your torso tip, your pelvis tip forward. Take your right elbow up and lift up in your heart like you're doing camel pose. Could stay exactly like that or add your left arm onto the strap. And you've got this kind of tipsy balance you could play with. Good. And inhale, lift back up and release your strap back down. Let's try the other side. So remember, start with being friendly towards yourself, whatever your experience is of this pose. That goes a long way. Friendliness, compassion, kindness. Just talk good words to yourself. Okay, so left foot in the strap. Take the strap up and put it on your shoulder like you've just put on a backpack. Now lift up in your low belly and kick your left foot up and back. Allow your pelvis to tip forward and take your left elbow up to the ceiling. You're sort of in this play between the two. Could stay right there or add your right arm. Lift up through your chest, curl in your chest like we did at the very beginning in that cow tilt. Good. Slowly come back down and release your foot. Welcome a breath in. Welcome a breath out. letting that be just as it is. So there's lots of options on how you can play with this. We're going to do it one more time. One thing is you could stay with this, and what you may have discovered already on your own is that when you take the block up the strap up here, you could tip into the wall and have your forearms on the wall and then really work your legs. So it's quite similar to the shower pose that we did with your heart coming to the wall. Same idea. So you could stick with the loop in your strap and then either what we just did or your elbows on the wall for more support. So if the balance is a challenge, use the wall as your friend. It's really great. Or take your strap and make your loop much smaller. So instead of having a loop to hold on to, now you have a tail. The nice thing about the tail is you can walk your hands down the tail. So I'll show you this. Here's the demo. You don't have to do it. Your foot goes in the strap again. Now the loop doesn't have to be totally, tight to your foot. That's fine. Then again, your strap comes up over your shoulder like a backpack. Same entry. Tip your pelvis forward, lift your foot up. This arm goes up the strap, and then you have this opportunity to walk your hands along the strap. And then I'm going to tip and lift my leg again, curl, walk my hands along the strap. Oh, I'm getting there. I'm almost to my foot. There we go. And then they just slide it back down. So I like that about the strap because if you had more range when you were in the loop situation, this gives you something really nice. You could just walk right down. Clearly, there's a lot going on in your body. Legs are strong. Keep your core engaged. That big curl that we had at the very beginning, and a lot of strength in your back. So whatever part of this you can work with is a great choice. Make the choice that works for you without having to do more than that. You've got plenty of time. Let's try this again. So if you'd like, make a little loop for your foot. If you'd like walk yourself down your strap as I was demonstrating, or stay with the bigger loop. You can even rest this one out if you need to. This is our last time. All right, stand on your left leg. Put your foot back into a strap or a loop if you're going to be using it. Got your foot in there, right foot in there, and come on up in a backpack arm like you're using your strap like a backpack. Then pause. First intention, open to the goodness that's here. Open to the highest. Then embrace yourself like a friend. Kick your right foot back, lift it up using your right leg, and squeeze around your right buttocks. Lift your heel, tip your pelvis forward. Then take the strap up. You might stay right there, or if you have your balance, take your left hand down the strap more. Right hand down the strap more. Curl, it's a back bend. Good. Walking yourself down as you are ready. And then exhaling, slowly release. Mine did not last as long the second attempt at that. That's okay. Being friendly. All right, we've only got one more side. Let's see how it goes. Stand on your right leg, take your strap on your left foot, loop your left foot through, and then take the strap up and over your shoulder like a backpack. Just make sure that the tail of your strap comes forward so you can get a hold of it if you need it. All right, last one. Kick your heel back and lift up, tip your pelvis forward. Then take your left arm up, and I'm pulling the strap. Pull on the strap. If you have your balance, take your right arm back. And again, you pull. You walk down the strap a little bit or a lot, curl. Walk down the strap a little bit or a lot, curl. Strong legs, lift your heart, life is a dance. Good, exhale. Whew. Let it go. Good job. Thank yourself for that. That is difficult work. So wherever you were, that is really something to encourage yourself around and say thank you for. Okay, you can bring your mat back away from the wall.
And come into downward facing dog. Down dog to release the deep curl of that back bend. So take your feet out as wide as your mat for this version. Make your arms really strong. Bend your knees, push your heart back, and then stretch your legs, push your thigh bones back. In this case, a lot of times I insist on your sitting bones being very high. In this case, you might take the top of your pelvis up at the front of your pelvis up a little more, your sitting bones not quite so high, so that you lengthen out your lower back. If you had a friend in the room with you, you could have your friend press on your sacrum to send your thighs back, to root, and to create some length through your spine. Well, you can do it for yourselves too. All right, with your exhale, lower your knees, come down to the mat. Grab a blanket or a block to sit on. And sit towards the right side of the support that you've chosen. Bend your bend your left knee and bring it forward. Hook your left heel around your right glutes. Take your right foot up and over, and then drop your right sitting bone down onto your blanket. Sit tall. Sweeping your left arm wide, receive a full in-breath, like you're gonna give a hug, and guess what? You are. Give a hug to your left, so your right leg, or hook your left leg, your front leg. Sitting tall twist. So sometimes there can be some constriction on the side that you're moving away from, on this left side. Lift that side up. That's gonna be really great after your back bend and you're in dancer pose. Hug your left side of your shoulder blade, wrap it forward. Take the right shoulder blade towards your spine more. I want to go back to that idea of connection and belonging and this, epidemic of loneliness and misconnection that we are experiencing in our culture. Inhale, lift up, unwind. It can even feel that way. Uncross your legs. If you're not able to get to your regular yoga classes, bend your right knee, hook your right heel around your left buttocks, take your left foot up and over. It is difficult. Bring your left sitting bone down, and then widen your right arm and either wrap and hug yourself or hook and still have the sense of hugging, and take your fingertips back behind a twist. And yes, we absolutely need human connection. We absolutely need those friends that walk the path with us, that help us to remember. They may not always see things in the same way that we do. They may not always go about life in the same way that we do, and yet friends are such a great support. I also want to remember that there is always connection available within yourself, to your breath, to your body. It's not the same as a human connection, but it does create an inroads to something even deeper. Inhale, unwind, back to the front. Untwist your legs. Take your legs out wide into Upavishta Konasana. And sit up tall. Peel your toes to the ceiling and make your legs really strong. Then inhale, lift up in your torso, twist towards your right side. One hand on either side of your right leg. You might stay exactly like this, or you might fold forward more. And as you fold, the left hip might lift and then reach it back. So this is really great if your back felt any pull or strain in the Natarajasana. So that's what we're talking about. So as you make connection into your body, into your breath, It's making an inroads, making a deeper connection with the life force we all share. We could call it consciousness. In this story, it's that Shiva. Shiva was trapped, pure potential in the lingam. Not trapped, he chose to be there. But the potential for the dance is there in the lingam. He just wasn't dancing in that moment. He was in deep meditation. Inhale, finding a deep connection with himself. And that's how we can feel sometimes, that we're not quite ready to dance with the world. Inhale, lift up, twist to the left. Exhale, come over. Maybe reach your right hand for your left foot. You can always use a strap. Really widen the right side of your back. That's what this is for. But as we become more friendly towards ourselves, again, we make that deep connection to Shiva, Shakti, to the self. It's often called in yoga, or the Hridaya, the heart. When we are in that space, when you are in that space, the heart space, you are connected to everyone and everything at all times across all space. Inhale, lift up. So though you may forget it or maybe don't always get to feel it, know that it is always there. There is always a friend in that space of the heart. So if you cannot come onto your back. If you can't make it to your yoga class, or you can't find the time, or life is just really a lot right now, really busy, know that just pausing, bring your knees in towards your chest, connecting to your heart, befriending this human, this person that's right here with you all the time. Take both knees to the right. It's enough. It's enough to get you started. It's enough to keep you connected to the world, to yourself, to the source. Plug into the source. The divine light of consciousness, that Shiva, always dancing in your heart. And how does he dance? Inhale your knees into the middle. Exhale your knees over to the left. He dances the Ananda Tandava, the dance of bliss. The dance of Ananda Tandava is so that he can experience Mahadeva. He is Mahadeva, the great one, the great God. It's a dance of his own greatness, a dance of your greatness, a dance of bliss. May our practices put us into touch with that. So just gently bring your legs back up into the middle and take a moment for yourself to do what would feel good. It might feel useful to bring your feet to the floor, your knees together, your feet apart. That will spread out your lower back. Rest one hand belly, one hand heart. You might choose something other than this, that's fine. Soften. Feel the dance happening inside of you all the time. The dance of life. The dance of bliss. And either stay here and rest or stretch both legs out. Come out to Shavasana. Add whatever props, whatever support would feel good. Friend to yourself to the very end. Let go. And rest now for the next few minutes in Shavasana.
softly deepen your breath. And wrap your arms around your body. Just give yourself a hug. Maybe it's just your shoulders, maybe it's your whole body. Slowly roll onto your right side. Bend your knees in. Push your hands down and come back up into a seated position. Sit tall, sit well, close your eyes. Just bring your left hand to your heart. A light pressure down and lift your heart up into your hand. In this moment, can you make a commitment to be your own friend? To treat your body and your life with kindness and compassion and friendly welcome. Know that your practices always support you. And may your practice now be that thread that connects you to Shakti, Shiva, Hridaya, the heart. Bring your palms to your heart. I'm so deeply grateful that you share your practice with me. May the light that you cultivate through your practice, the kindness, the friendliness, shine out through your eyes and into the world. Let's close with one more Om. Welcome your in-breath. Om. Shanti. Thank you for sharing your practice with me. I hope to see you again soon. Take care.